Ever get the feeling you're witnessing like a really pivotal moment, like a company you thought you had pegged, suddenly makes a move that throws everyone for a loop?
Happens all the time in the tech world, right?
Right. Especially with, well, this is exactly why we're diving deep today into OpenAI. Because their shift from a nonprofit to a for-profit company, well, let's just say it's got people talking.
And for good reason, there's a lot at stake here.
Absolutely. I mean, this is the company behind ChatGPT, DAL-A, some of the most mind-blowing AI we've seen.
Exactly. And when they first emerged, their whole thing was, we're building AGI, artificial general intelligence, for the good of humanity. No profit motive, just pure idealistic research.
Which honestly was refreshing in a way, right?
Yeah.
Silicon Valley isn't exactly known for its altruism.
Right, but here's the thing. Building the future of AI, it's not cheap. And that's where things get really interesting.
Okay, so before we get into the nitty-gritty of OpenAI's transformation, let's make sure everyone's up to speed. OpenAI starts out all idealistic, aiming to create this super intelligent AGI, right?
Mm.
But to get there, they need money, and lots of it.
And not just money, computing power, talent, it's an arms race out there.
Right, and this is where things start to get, well, a little messy, right?
You could say that.
Because we're not just talking about a company changing its business model, we're talking about a potential shift in the entire AI landscape.
And potentially a philosophical one, too.
So let's talk about some of these recent shakeups, shall we? First, we had Mira Murati, the CTO, leaving. Now we have Bob McGrew, the Chief Revenue Officer, out the door. Two very high-profile departures in a very short period.
It's hard to ignore timing like that, right? Especially when you consider the scrutiny Sam Altman, the CEO, has been under, leading in this space right now. It's got to be like trying to herd cats, only the cats are hyper-intelligent algorithms.
So you're saying these departures could be a sign of disagreements, clashes over the direction OpenAI is heading?
It's definitely speculation, but the timing is, let's just say, it's noteworthy.
Okay, so we've got high-level departures, we've got this incredibly competitive AI field, and then boom, OpenAI drops the bombshell. They're ditching the nonprofit status and becoming a, what was it?
A B-Corp. It's kind of a hybrid. They can pursue profits, but they're also supposed to consider their social impact.
Right, right. But for a lot of people, it felt like, wait, what happened to the whole benefiting humanity thing?
Yeah. And that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Can you really serve two masters' profit and the greater good?
Especially when you factor in just how much money we're talking about here, right? I mean, I read somewhere that running ChatGPT alone.
It's an estimated $700,000 per day.
Per day. Are you serious?
Uh-huh.
That's like, what, a luxury car every single day just to keep the chatbot going.
That's AI development. In a nutshell, it's incredibly resource-intensive, and it's only going to get more expensive from here.
So is that the justification? That OpenAI simply had to become a for-profit to stay afloat, to compete with the Googles and Microsofts of the world?
It's a compelling argument because, let's be real, without resources, OpenAI can't really shape the future of AI, can they?
But then you have the flip side, right? The cynic in me can't help but wonder, does this open the door to, well, less ethical uses of AI?
It's a valid concern. Look at social media. It started with good intentions, connecting people.
Right, and
Now-
exactly did.
Exactly. So the question becomes, can OpenAI, even with the best of intentions, control this technology once it's out there?
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here. OpenAI's shift, the reasons behind it, the potential benefits and drawbacks. But I think the real question is, what does all of this mean for us, for the everyday person?
That's the question, isn't it? Because this isn't just about one company. It's about the increasing power of AI in all our lives.
AI is already being used in everything from healthcare to finance, even to writing this podcast episode.
And it's only going to become more pervasive, which is why it's so important to be having these conversations now.
Exactly, because we as a society need to decide what we're comfortable with, what kind of future we want to see with AI.
Do we want a future where AI is controlled by a handful of corporations whose main goal is profit?
Or do we want a future where AI is developed ethically with the goal of benefiting all of humanity?
These are big questions, and there are no easy answers.
But if this deep dive has taught us anything, it's that we need to be asking these questions and we need to be demanding answers.
Because the future of AI is too important to be left in the hands of a select few.
Couldn't have said it better myself. So to our listeners out there, we want to hear from you. What are your thoughts on OpenAI's transformation? Are you optimistic about the future of AI, or are you concerned? Head over to our website and let us know your thoughts, because this is a conversation that needs to continue.
Absolutely, because the choices we make today about AI will have a profound impact on the world of tomorrow.
So let's make sure we're making the right ones. And on that note, that's a wrap on this deep dive into OpenAI's transformation. We'll be back next week with another fascinating topic and another opportunity to explore the ever-evolving world of tech.
Until then, keep those questions coming.
And keep on thinking deeply.